We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the San Francisco 49ers.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
McKenzie returning it.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As that ball got...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. This will be caught. It's Samuel.
Touchdown, Washington.
Curtis Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
From the 27,
Lance. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Now Lance.
And that will be incomplete.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
McKenzie now to return it. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got to...
He's got him in, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there for Washington.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Off play action. Merritt. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Off the bootleg. Merritt sliding out of the pocket.
And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play there for the Niners.
Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
To throw, it's Lance.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are back within a score.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good. And looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, Merritt. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he's taken down inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Merritt. This one left side caught by Gibson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Just like that. Right there. 55.
Looking to throw. Merritt. Touchdown! De'Ami Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Call that a
44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Second and 2, first down marker at the 8.
Back to throw. Merritt. Forced out to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Washington on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far.
This time they face a 3rd and 2. Caught on the slant.
Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas.
His first touchdown on the year.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer.
Sly on for the extra point.
It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's McKenzie.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Second down at 7.
Looking to throw. Merritt. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Man, this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff. They have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 27-yard line.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's what I love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? They're the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Lance now to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. A couple of touchdown passes, almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well, I think Lady Luck was on his side.
Throwing his Lance on third down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. There he goes, left side. The 20, 10, 5, and he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown here in this first half. And Washington going to add on to their lead. McManus now for the extra point.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes this Washington 42, 49ers 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
And to give this time to the tailback.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
Going up top. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Lance.
He's going to let it go again. And drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Niners.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Lance going to sneak it, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out.
And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is what every back in the league is supposed to do, exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Javon Kinlaw coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Back to throw. Merritt. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Merritt slings this deep from McLaurin, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Now play fake. Lance. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw on second down. Merritt. He's going deep for Brown.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 46. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On the move to his left. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Taking a shot for Samuel.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
That's complete. Bernard.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Merritt. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
Now McManus for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Next is Washington 49, 49ers 21.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to... And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter, and you can expect more passes like that downfield. Finding room at the 30, and all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
48 yards on the ground for him so far.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
The Niners on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Lance going to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And they'll go for it. Lance.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll run on first down. It's Mitchell, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Working from the gun, Lance.
Able to haul it in is Kittle.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
On first down, Mitchell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
The same target, same result. It's Kittle.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Niners get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
McKenzie returning it. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, Merritt escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Lance now on 1st down.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington,
they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they will finally get an extra week to heal up a bit as they will